Portal. It's like, oh yeah, okay, dude.
He also disappeared like 5 years ago, I think.
Do you watch? There's a YouTube channel called Magic Mush. Have you seen him before?
Well,
his profile picture is one of those weird Donkey Kong 3D early cartoon things. He did a video on movie Blob, and it was really enjoyable. Yeah, he does the retrospectives, but they're like 20 minutes long, so it's not like the people who are like Movie Bob, a short video 5 hours long. I would not watch it.
Every DSP video.
Yeah, literally.
DSP is just the most boring guy in the world. It's like, how do you get 5 hours of content?
June the King made like a literal 3-hour video on it, and
I know.
Over the course of like
I never watched them, but it's like, what do you have to say about this guy who's just kind of stupid?
I mean, over the course of a week, I would play it when like at the store before open or after. You know, like if I was in like storage fixing stuff up, like what else am I gonna do? So I would just have it on in my pocket, and pretty much he was just like, the whole thing at DSP is actually, when he did fighting games, it was pretty amusing, I'm not gonna lie. Because to get a whole community as, like, generally awful as fighting game community to, like, universally hate you because you're that awful is really funny. But then after that, when he became a streamer, it's like, boring guy, not good at games, begs people for money, spends all money on WWE Gacha game. That's it. That's the end. I think the most amazing part about stories like that is when they're like DSP has been like married and has had like multiple long-term partners, and I'm like, what? Like, that's the part that blows me away. They're like,
he just has the biggest dog.
Wow!
People don't know, but he does.
Nobody told me about that. I do kind of miss all the, what are they, lolcows from, 10 years ago are, like, barely exist. And honestly, nowadays, lolcows are, like...
I really don't like lolcow culture because, like, it's centered around, like, kiwi farms and people, like, ruining people's
right,
lives.
and that's obviously not okay.
Cool. It's like these people are obviously, like, mentally...
But the problem nowadays is
they just have problems.
The version of that for 2025 is literally like IRL streamers like being awful. Like that one guy, like Sneeko or something. He literally goes to like foreign countries and purposefully like disrespects them. Like he went to Korea and there was like this Korean massacre or something that I don't know enough to talk about the intricacies. But there was this big statue, like, commemorating it, and he would just go up to it and, like, mess with it on purpose and be like, duh, F Korea, and, like, would get, like, jailed or fined or whatever, then be like, duh, and being so idiotic and annoying that other Korean streamers would just find him and beat him up in the street. Like, that's literally what it is nowadays, and it's like, that's not funny. That's not DSP being stupid. That's, like, literally, like, hurting people and like breaking into people's houses and all this crap. Like, that's not humorous at all, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's like those people just anything for clout. I mean, one of the biggest guys, Jake Paul,
I always forget Logan or Jake. I forget which one's which.
It's like those people are like human trash, but they have like a billion jillion viewers because they're just like, look at how much of a garbage human I am and how rich I am now. Look at me.
And then people are like, they feed into it, and it's so stupid.
Yeah, I just hate that.
I would watch someone because of what they say or do is interesting. I wouldn't watch them because it's like, wow, look at them have money for some reason. Like, okay.
I mean, I guess it's the same thing. It's way less bad, I guess, but like people that are famous just because they're famous, like Kim Kardashian, I never understood like the culture around like following someone's life who has done literally nothing other than exist in the state of being famous. That's like, okay.
Yeah, Ash would sometimes watch the Kardashian show and I would like catch snippets and I was always like, man, this is just boring. Like, it would be different if it was like they were awful, but it was like, just boring.
Yeah, they have like no personality or no life.
It's just them sitting around on the couch being like, oh my god, can you believe we have to do this thing? Oh my god. And I'm like, okay.
Let's go shopping.
I'm gonna bring up an ancient YouTuber for you. Ready? Oh my God, shoes. Oh my God, shoes. It's hard to believe it's the same lifetime as Shoes, the YouTube video.
I don't remember that one. I'll have to look at
That's it's a guy who's wearing like a wig and blonde wig, and he has glasses, and it's just a music video where it's just about shoes. He goes, "Oh my God, it's shoes. Let's go shopping." And that's the song is about being a girl and liking shoes. It was a simpler time. Yeah, that guy, I've seen videos on him too. That guy Sneeko, like, literally is, like, banned from, like, multiple countries. Also, like, people being stupid in other countries is, like, the worst possible thing. Like, you can do it in America, and, like, people will just be like, you're an idiot. But, like, people will go to, like, Saudi Arabia and be like, duh, I'm gonna steal stuff. And then they get, like, in jail for 30 years. It's like, very cool, dude. No! You gotta go, you gotta go! You gotta hurry!
That reminds me of, there was a reporter that went to, this isn't like the same thing at all, but it just reminded me of it. There was a reporter that went to North Korea, and North Korea, obviously, they just survey every single person there. And, like, they found him, they apparently accused him of, like, stealing a poster off a hotel wall.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this.
And they, like, jailed him for, like, and put him in, like, a concentration camp for, like, 10 years and shipped him back to America when he was in a coma. And it's like, holy crap. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, you could literally be like, go to North Korea for 1 week for $1 million, and I'd be like, nah, I'm sorry.
It's like,
you couldn't do, like, whether he did that or didn't, it doesn't matter. But, like, they could just be like, oh, I heard that you are against our glorious leader, and I'd be like, wait, what?
No, I love Kim Kun.
Kim-sama, Kim-senpai. But, like, literally, like, it does not matter. All I know is when countries like that, like, fail spectacularly, it makes me happier than anything. Like, I know Saudi Arabia will never be without money because of oil, but they've spent, like, literally hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars to make that, what would you call it? Like, tourist resort place?
Like, all their mega projects, they
all fail, and it's so amazing.
All the Middle Eastern countries are doing that because they have wealth, but it's time wealth. Because the second they run out of oil, or the world most likely doesn't need oil anymore, they are just a dead country.
I mean, why would you...
Which is why they're, like, so desperate to be, like, tourism?
Right. Well, they had the freaking...
They don't have anything else.
They had the freaking World Cup there, and they, like, a lot of the places weren't domes, and it's like, hey, would you like to play soccer where you're running around for 90 minutes and it's 125 degrees? I'd be like, yes, I'm having a heart attack and dying. I mean, I know that those people are world-class athletes, but still, it's like, holy crap. Yeah, there's that one where they were building, like, a couple-mile stretch. They were literally building, like, an island. And it's right now it's left in, like, a half-done state of disrepair because they didn't do the correct amount of engineering to figure, like, how do we build this off of the sand that's here? And I just think that's awesome. I'm not for wasting money in really anything, but when a country like that does it, I'm like, okay.
My favorite one is a project called The Line, where they were basically going to make this horizontal city.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm talking about.
In just the middle of the desert. And it's so awesome because it's, like, in the most, like, remote, uninhabited part of their country. But still, there were, like, nomadic tribes living there that they basically were, like, they gave, like, just the worst amount. Like, it's basically like, here's $500, leave and find somewhere else to live. That's basically the equivalent of it.
What would a nomadic tribe want with money?
Exactly, they just want to live there, but they're just, like, you know...
Yeah.
Penniless and don't have anything, so they have to do what they're...
Right.
I forget what the crown prince's name is.
Poop McButt. That's his name. I also hate when corporations bend the knee to them too. Like WWE has had a couple Saudi Arabia specific events, and just because there's all that money there, is that Ridley?
That didn't count. Yeah, this is Ridley.
Just because there's all that money there, they're like, and it's almost like sorry, my brain's not working today. What's the thing where you
What? That didn't count again.
What's the thing where you make like fan-made stories? My brain's not working.
Fan fiction?
Fan fiction. Sorry, thanks. It's like they'll create their own fan fiction where they're like, hey, we're gonna pay $1 billion to have WWE here. We want to see Undertaker come out of retirement and wrestle Hulk Hogan out of retirement, and we want Undertaker to win, and blah blah blah. And like, they're not gonna say no because they're like, we'll pay you $1 billion to do this. And it's like, God, that's so.
Isn't the WWE already fan fiction? Because
I mean, it's literally fan fiction, but at least they can set their own fan fiction. Yeah. So like Triple H or Vince McMahon can be like, well, we believe in this and we're gonna do this. But obviously, you know, Saudi's like, no, we want these people to wrestle, and that's what it's going to be. That's like, I don't know, that's like me being like, I want Tom Brady to come back and play at our local field in Denver and win against Pat Mahomes. Here's $1 billion, and Pat Mahomes is going to poop his pants and cry. Okay, thanks. Also, wrestling's real to me, damn it. I don't even watch wrestling.
I think they also got like some like soccer players like Ronaldo. They paid like an ungodly amount of money to be like playing the Saudi league.
Yeah,
it's like, why? Who cares?
I think it's just.
I mean, if I was Ronaldo, I would definitely take it. It's like $60 million a year for nothing. It's like, okay, I'll do
right.
that.
I guess the only worry is, see, the thing that I've watched so many videos on this. The thing is, like, if you're one of the people they want there and like the rich, like tourists and whatever, they'll let you do anything. Like, if you break all these like rules and stuff, they're like, huh, what? But if you don't have a lot of money and you do anything, they're like, in jail, 20 years, bye bye. And it's like, awesome. Yeah, it is such favoritism. Oh, hep, baby.
She does basically have no clothes on. You can see literally right through her. Whoa. Thanks, Sammy. That's what I said.
Thanks, literal god of this universe, who can do literally anything.
I do. There's definitely not a sense of isolation in this game, unlike Prime 1 and 2, where basically you're the only character, and especially Prime 1, there's like no one else that even is alive.
You only get story by like finding like data logs and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Prime 1 is like 99% lore. It's like the proto Dark Souls. Prime 2 has like a couple characters and a couple speaking scenes, and then this game is like definitely like the most.
Yeah.
But once we're out of this like tutorial planet, it becomes less handholdy, but they will chime in and like tell you like what to do.
Where does this take place compared to other I'm sorry, not other Dread? Or is it like a completely separate like universe?
I think Sakamoto has basically said that the Prime games are not canon, but they would take place around Super Metroid.
Okay.
Which is, I mean...
So she's strong, but not Dread strong, where she was Goku at the end.
She definitely does feel like around like Super Metroid, maybe pre-Super Metroid.
Okay. I hate those things. What is the point? Just to make you hurry up? Come on.
Yeah, basically. This one's not as bad as the missile tank one.
I get it. It's to give some difficulty, but it's still like, oh, just let me do this in peace.
Yeah. Without it would be pretty much nothing.
Yeah. And it's not like they like kill you in one hit or anything, but
yeah, it's whatever. I do think that the Prime game's like strongest aspect is probably the more ball puzzles.
Oh, it literally takes 1 damage? Oh my god.
Especially in the beginning. This game is not hard. I didn't play on Veteran because once we get that Hyper Beam, I'm going to be using it all the time, but it takes energy from you. You have to insert an energy tank into it to activate it, but you don't have to use the whole energy tank if you don't want to. But if you do expend the whole thing, that takes 1 energy tank. But it makes combat so nice. Because your power beam feels pretty consistently weak in this game. I think it's really to incentivize you to use the hyper beam. But this is the weirdest Prime game, because this is the only one where you have actual like permanent power-ups to your power beam. The other Prime games, like the first one, like Ice Beam, Wave Beam, Plasma Beam, they're all like situational, like different attacks. The Plasma Beam is definitely the strongest, but you get that one the last. And then in Prime 2, they made them stronger, but they have an ammo counter, so you never want to use them.
Base?
This is pretty cool. But this game, they actually give you 2 upgrades to your power beam, but it always feels really weak.
So you're falling at like 20, 25 meters a second.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Hold on. Now we need to know.
Like, is this going to be, like, the center of the planet? Like, how could they possibly, like, make this thing? Look up how many meters it is from...
So, I first looked up how fast terminal velocity is, and it's 53 meters per second, so I would not say 1,000. That's more like 30, so I wouldn't say it's quite terminal velocity. And I'm sorry, what was that?
How many meters is it from the crust to the center of the planet on Earth?
$6,400 kilometers.
Okay, so it's a lot more than I thought. So, man, you would have to fall for like a while at terminal speed to... I guess the Earth is like big.
What? Hold on. Alright, so 6,400 kilometers is 6,400,000 meters divided by, what was it, 56? I believe it was 56 meters per second is 114,000 seconds, which is 1,900 minutes. Or so at terminal, that's crazy. At terminal velocity, the whole way, not counting for gravity or any sort of weird Super Mario Galaxy like thing where you would like change direction, it would take 31 hours for you to fall from the Earth's crust to the core.
That's crazy.
Like, I think I did the math on that correct.
If you would have asked me, like,
I would have said like a couple hours.
I would have said like 30 minutes.
I'm pretty sure I did that math correct. If I did it wrong, let me know, YouTube land. But it was
the Earth is like big.
It was just pretty much meters divided by terminal velocity, which tells you how many seconds divided by 60 divided by 60.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple math. Math major here, guys, by the way. Spencer literally has a math major.
Well, listen. Numbers is different from math.
Yeah, Spencer broke his brain learning statistics and calculus.
I like statistics, and I like math theory and proofs.
You like proofs? I thought that was the worst part of math.
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst part, but I like it because it's kind of like the building blocks. It would be like a chemist being like, yeah, I like chemistry, but I don't like the periodic table. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you can't not like it. You can't.
No.
What if Walter White was like, listen to the periodic table, it's stupid. By the way, my favorite thing about the periodic table of elements is the lower you go on it, like the higher the number is, like the absolute more deadly every single thing is. Like, obviously the further you go down, the rarer it is. But it's just amazing that, like, you know, you have something like carbon or helium or hydrogen. They're like the building blocks of life, and they're like everywhere. And it's like, well, clearly we can interact with them. But then when you get to stuff like francium and americanium and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, if you were within any distance of that, of like one speck of that, you are lay dead. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, radiation is pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. I don't think your average person, like, understands how crazy... Like, it's one thing to just look at the periodic table of elements and be like, okay, I see the numbers, I see the names. But just, like, if they had, like, a picture of everything next to it and was like, here is radium, you really don't want to be anywhere near that thing. Or, like, the noble gases, like, once you get down to the bottom of that, you're like, I also think that the further down you go in the periodic table, the more, the less stable they are, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Also, it's like the less they exist in nature.
Right. The less they exist in nature.
A lot of those are like just completely like artificially made.
Right. Some of them were literally made. Well, yes, made by humans. Like they don't really exist. But I just love it. I love like looking at the bottom ones and being like, huh. I wonder how much of that exists in the entire world, and the answer is, like, not much. I like science. I would never be a scientist, but I like science. It's cool, I'm sorry. Freaking nerd alert, you stupid idiot.
I like science too. I guess just Redditors being like, I heart science, and like making it their like literal religion.
The most base thing about the I effing love science people is they literally do not love science. And the reason I say that is science is by its nature, and I'm sorry you scientists out there, but if you're a scientist, you'll literally agree with me. Science is by its nature boring AF. And by that I mean science is about having a hypothesis and trying it over and over and over and over again and failing and failing and failing and slightly changing your hypothesis until you hopefully eventually get to a correct hypothesis. That's why I say that the Reddit I effing love science people are jokes. Because they don't care about the scientific theory.
They also hate like things that don't agree to their personal beliefs.
And that's like
it's like science is literally the most objective thing possible. It is objectivity.
Your whole
incarnate.
point, you actually want to go out of your way not to prove yourself correct, but to prove yourself incorrect, because then you can learn from that and then change your hypothesis. That's the whole effing point. But like the Reddit effing love science people is more like, here's my idea on what it should be, therefore I'm going to try my best to get to it. It's like, that's not science.
Yeah. Do not have that outlook.
That's why I love math, because it's the one thing in the entire world that is objective fact. It is either true or it is not true. There's no in between. There's no opinions on math. You know?
Oh no, all my friends dropped in 1 second.
Wait, Dark Samus was in 2, yeah?
Yeah. Dark Samus in 2 looks really weird because you can see her, like, phase on skeleton. She isn't as fully formed in this game. But she slowly gets more powerful, which is why even Samus drops her right now.
My god.
It also helps that Samus, you know, Metroids herself every single game for no reason.
I think they got to a point where they didn't want to give reasons for it. You know, like Symphony of the Night when Death is like, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to take all your stuff. Haha, loser.
At the end of Metroid Prime 2, she gets rid of the light suit, which, by the way, thank God, the light suit is like the ugliest Metroid Samus design in the entire series. Dude, look at the pink girl. She has like a thong on. Do you see that?
Whoa. Yeah, that's actually that's actually true.
Metroid is a Coomer studio.
Based? I just wish 5% of the very, very dedicated, like, people who are geniuses at stuff like making, like, Pokemon ROMs and ROM-hacks and randomizers would just become, like, scientists and stuff.
Dude, Panenkoic, the Super Mario 64 guy, the Watch the Rolling Rocks
most
guy.
Most brilliant guy ever.
He probably, I bet he has, like, a master's, if not PhD in mathematics, but then just does, like, the Super Mario 64 stuff in his free time.
He's literally, like, Einstein.
He's, like, 160 IQ minimum. Like,
and then only... But, like, that's it's like, and every time someone like that, I'm like, oh my god, just be an engineer for like 5 years, and you will do more than like a person like me can do in my entire life to make humanity better. Please, dude, Elon should literally like find people like Panacoic and be like, hey, work for me for 5 years, and you can play as much Mario 64 as you want, bro. You're clearly brilliant.
Elon would rather hire people outside the country to save $1.
Literally. I was telling someone the other day, like, Nintendo's thing of cease and desisting these people who are making ROMs of their games and stuff, I'm like, you're so dumb. You should literally go to those people and be like, hey, do you want a job? Because here's the thing. They love Nintendo. They love Nintendo IPs, right? You wouldn't even have to pay them, like, super well. You could be like, $50K a year? Like, if the average is, like, $80K, which I have no idea. You could be like $40K, and they'd be like, sure.
Nintendo has a very frustrating philosophy they're hiring. I remember like Miyamoto talking about it in interviews where they basically tried to go out of their way to hire people that are either not fans of their games or not like really into video games at all to get an outside perspective. And I can understand the thought around it, but it's like, I don't know.
You don't want all turbo fans of your stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to hire everyone just because they're like, I like Nintendo. Like, I get that. But, like, to go out of your way to be like, oh, you like our games? You can't work here.
That's so stupid. The guy who made the Metroid 2 remake by himself, I would have been like, hey, we do have to take this down, but can I hire you?
Sega did that with the
Sonic Mania people.
Yeah.
And look how it was the best Sonic game ever made.
But even that, like, corporate structures, especially in Japan, where they're so rigid and insular, like, even that fell apart. It's like, okay, when's Sonic Mania 2? When's anything from this team?
Yeah, Sonic Mania was like, what, 2018 or 19 or whatever?
And then, like, part of that team made the Sonic Origins collection, but that came out, like, obviously unfinished and, like, rushed. And then after that, it's like, it's probably dead. It's like, cool. You got this dream team together for one game, and then just, like, corporate insular politics ended it. It's like,
Mania had to sell well. It's like universally loved, and it's not like Metroid where it's like kind of more of a niche thing. Like everyone likes Sonic.
You know the most frustrating thing about it? They basically fire the guys who made Sonic Mania, but then they hired Arzest to make Sonic Superstars. You know what Arzest made?
Let me guess. A phone game.
Balan Wonderworld.
Oh no!
One of the worst games in the last like decade. It's like, what is your problem?
Is that game actually bad or is it just boring?
It's pretty bad.
Like actually bad.
Yeah,
okay.
It's fundamentally like very bad.
I didn't know if it was like Ukulele where it's like fine but like boring.
Okay, we're done.
Oh.
It's been like an hour.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even. Yeah. All right, guys. We will see you next time where we're gonna start playing Balan Wonderworld. Full 100% playthrough. I hope you enjoy. And what you just got the Hyper Beam, right?
Yep.
Let's go.
I'll just show it off. You hold the start button, and then you inject the energy tank, and oops. Ooh, you can see it.
That's cool.
But it's crazy. It gets even stronger as you go throughout the game. But like you can charge it up and it's like Death Ray. Like
and
this...
that if you use that, that's an entire energy tank then.
Yes. So I am down an energy tank, but yeah, it is well worth it, and I will be using it constantly.
Certainly seems like.
I'm not okay. One thing about this game, real quick, is that there's a secret ending for getting 100%. So I have a save file with 100%, but I'm not going to be going for 100% this playthrough. In fact, like missiles are they're not like worthless, but they're pretty bad in this game. All I care about is energy tanks, so I'll be getting all of those, but everything else doesn't matter. All right, we'll be back with you.
Okay. Bye. Have a wonderful time.